What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction video is 10 reasons the USA is better than Europe. Going to be interesting.
One of them's going to be the army.
Oh yeah, they definitely are. The army definitely better. The UK.
I'm not sure what the
Europe.
other 9 reasons are.
No clue. Again, we're from a British perspective, so we can give our opinion on that. I think it's just going to be personal opinion. It is world according to Briggs, though. And we've done a lot of videos of him, and he is brutal.
Yes, he is. Oh, this is the guy that basically said some of those states were bad.
Yeah, so he just if he's got an opinion, he will not shy away and he will go in and he is brutal on it. Not everyone will agree, so it's going to be interesting because he's probably going to be going in on Europe, I'm guessing.
Can't wait.
So smash that like button, guys. Smash the subscribe button. We'll give our opinion on these as well. And are you ready?
Yes.
Let's get into it. 10 reasons the USA is better than Europe. What we got?
What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to World According to Briggs and a video about why the United States is so much better than Europe. This video came about after getting emails from Europeans for close to 3 years now telling me why the US sucks and Europe is so much better. I get these all the time. They often bring up some good, valid points, but they also like to hint at things like we're all just rude, arrogant, and dumb. That can be true about Americans, but that can be true about anyone. It's not like Americans.
I'm joking. I can say that because my stepdad's French, so I can say
I also don't know if he...
I whispered it because I was scared.
I don't know if he picked it up.
Cornered the market on being rude. These people always act like they have it so much better in Europe, and the only thing the US has ever done was start wars. Honestly, that's like the general theme. That's what they always seem to go to, is we start wars. But US does have some bad things, and the US has some great things, just like Europe. Every country, every town, every village, and every neighborhood has its good and its bad. If you don't understand that, you're kind of dumb. So let's take a look in no particular order at some things that make the US a far better option than Europe.
Okay.
Number 10, World Wars. We don't have them. We never have. We hopefully never will. We just don't have world wars here in the United States. We've had a civil war and we've had some other things. And before you do, stop typing. Yes, Pearl Harbor was part of World War II and it was on American soil, but that was just an attack that took a couple hours.
Well, it's just the whole idea that because the US, I'm guessing that because the US is completely away from everything else, it's basically its own landmass, borders Canada, no one really around.
I suppose Europe's different because it's like touching everything.
Yeah, you haven't got suddenly all the battles being fought in America. It's fought like in France, right, throughout all Europe, didn't you? And I think that's what he's getting at. So you're pretty safe there.
Yeah, so it's like in Europe and England, people got evacuated. They wouldn't have done that in America.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Obviously, Pearl Harbor happened back, and I don't want to say everyone were chilling because obviously, I imagine there was US conscripts as well going into it because they only entered late when Pearl Harbor happened. They didn't enter until like the last few years. Obviously, finding out in Band of Brothers. Go and check the movie reaction channel out. But yes, I think it's just because of the geography. Is what he's getting at.
Japanese also did take hold of some rock outcropping we had in the Bering Sea near Alaska. They stayed there for a couple months. We didn't even try and chase them out. But when it comes to world wars, no real combat on American soil other than those. We've joined other wars. Matter of fact, we joined 2 world wars in Europe to help Europe. I don't know if you Europeans remember, but there was this German guy with a funny little mustache, and he had plans for all of Europe and pretty much the entire world. If it wasn't for the United States, there's a good chance his dream would have come true. Over 100,000 U.S. servicemen lost their lives in combat during World War II. In World War I, it was about 116,000. So we may have started some wars in our history, but we sure have helped out Europe with a couple of theirs.
Definitely.
And from the looks of it, might be a third one on the way.
And I don't think the Brits can complain about anything like that because all the stuff we've done in the past, we can't complain.
No, yeah, we've not been nice.
Do you know what I mean?
Not us personally.
Amusement parks. That World War II thing, World War I, was kind of depressing. So let's look at amusement parks. We excel at amusement parks. Europe has some wonderful things to do, don't get me wrong, but we set the bar for amusement parks. The Six Flags amusement parks, our water parks, Disneyland, Disney World, Cedar Point, Hershey Park, Busch Gardens, Universal, King's Dominion, Kings Island, and one of my personal favorites growing up was Knott's Berry Farm. It's not the biggest and it's not one of the best, but it's just got a place in my heart. So it gets a mention. Euro Disney's nice, Euro Park, Port Adventura, Future Scope. Those are all nice, but it's nothing compared to what we got going on here in the United States. Okay, Legoland started in Europe and that's pretty cool. We got some here in the United States, but we still blow everyone out of the water when it comes to amusement parks.
Well, I mean, I've
Number-
never been to an American amusement park, but some of the rides I have seen do seem insane.
I just feel like they do it bigger and better. Like they do more variety.
Yeah, it seems that way, doesn't it?
Like
I
even the
haven't seen too
Legoland
much.
in the UK, my mum always said, like with Disneyland and Legoland thing, they're good to start out with here. But
Yeah.
if you go to like Disney World in Florida, you're going to the Paris one and you'll be not as thrilled
Oh, okay.
because it's not as
Yeah.
big.
Oh,
But,
that makes sense.
Like
The size
it's
of
a
it
good
definitely
starter
makes sense.
one going to the Paris. If you live in Europe,
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
good starter
definitely.
one, and then you branch
I
out.
definitely prefer Haunted House to Legoland though, in the UK.
Well, Legoland's for kids. It's
I
like
did
for
get my
little
I did
kids.
get my driving license. If you guys got your driving license at Legoland in the USA, let us know in the
I
comments
didn't,
below.
and I think I'm too old now. I got a real one
Great.
though.
U.S. economy. If you don't know, the U.S. economy is huge. It's by far the biggest economy in the world. The United States annual GDP is about $21 trillion. In a distant second, you have China with an annual GDP of $14.72 trillion. After that, you got Japan with $5.06 trillion GDP. At number 4, you get your
Japan's
first
high.
European country, and it's Germany. They only have a 3.85 trillion annual GDP. Then the United Kingdom is 2.76, and then after that you got India, and then finally France, 2.63, Italy, 1.89. And if you look outside of countries, the state of California would come in 5th place with
mad, isn't
3.4
it?
trillion. So my question to the Europeans are, if we suck that bad, why do we make so much money? And feel free to leave comments about how we're corrupt and we take advantage of other countries like your countries don't also.
But again,
Number
It
7,
is true.
our
You can't-
technology.
You can't battle someone else when we do the same thing.
yeah, I can't come too much. I honestly don't know too much about the economy. I'm not the smartest in that aspect. You know what I mean? But fair enough.
The United States has invented most of the really cool stuff.
US is
Sure,
big tech.
Europe has come up with the guillotine and the Iron Maiden, but the United States has come up with things like the personal computer in 1971, the weed whacker in 1971.
The weed
1972, we came up with the video game console. 72 also gave us the MRI. 73 gave us the cell phone. This is all before 1980. In 1978, we invented microwave popcorn. 1986, we
Okay,
gave
James,
you
that's
the 3D printer.
Yeah,
1996,
I'm
we
sold just on microwave popcorn. I'm completely sold.
gave you Google. 2005, we gave you YouTube. I should say 2004, we gave you Facebook also, but that's kind of working against us these days, it seems like. Along with in 2006, Twitter showed up. We also
Okay.
gave you the COVID-19 vaccine. I know some of you don't think that was a good thing, but a lot of people do. If you want to go way back, 1938, we invented the chocolate chip cookie. Take that, Europe, you and your croissant.
That is good.
Number 6, gas prices. Your gas prices suck, Europe. Face it. I know you go by
Not in
liters,
Jersey, they
and
don't.
we're going to break it down for gallons, which we
do.
use here in the United
Do they?
States, and dollars.
Wait, wait,
okay?
I
wait.
thought we had good gas.
Literally the other day, it used to be, again, you guys really don't probably care about the difference between Jersey and the UK, but it used to be Jersey was way better than the UK. Then all
Yeah,
this.
but now it's increased because of other probs.
Okay.
I'm very defensive over gas.
I guess now then they both went super high.
Mm.
Then the UK have dropped and Jersey have stayed high. They've not dropped loads, but dropped less. So Jersey are now higher. It's not like they've increased again. Jersey is high now. You
Okay,
literally, you
5
literally
years
sent a picture the other day.
ago. 5 years ago, they were really good.
Anyway, you guys really don't really care about Jersey UK difference, but on this, I feel like it probably is true. But you guys have bigger tanks and drive a lot more, so you probably use a lot more mileage. So it probably is quite even overall, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they probably don't fill up as much.
No, I think they fill up more because they drive more, if that makes sense.
Oh, right.
Because it's bigger, they drive more, they've got
Oh,
bigger
so
tanks.
there's less money, but they're having to fill up more.
They're filling up more, they've got bigger tanks, so more's going in, using it more,
Whereas-
so it adds up consumption.
Yeah, it's in the UK, people probably don't
It
do
don't
that.
fill up as much because there's less driving.
It's, yeah, and
Let-
probably mainly as well is the UK are known for their big cars.
Yes.
Whereas we do have big cars in
US,
Europe.
you mean? You know, for
That's what
yeah.
I mean, not UK. US do, whereas Europe is
Nowhere
not.
near as big.
No, yeah, it's not on the second
No,
scale.
definitely. Let us know in the comments on that one. Be
Okay,
interesting.
I found a nice little chart that breaks it down as of May 1st, 2022. The highest gas prices in the world right now is Hong Kong, and it is $10.87 on average per gallon of gas. Norway, it's 9.13 for a gallon of gas. Monaco, it's $9 a gallon of gas. Iceland, $8.75. Denmark, $8.69. Finland, $8.64. Greece, $8.38. Netherlands, $8.33. Germany, $7.91. United Kingdom, 770. The list goes on. Sweden,
Some
769.
expensive places.
Liechtenstein, 766. Estonia, 755. Switzerland, 747. This list goes on. You know where the United States is? 84th in the world with $4.58
That is low,
on
isn't it?
average countrywide.
That is
Now,
super
this is
low.
the point where a bunch of people here in the United States are going to leave some political comment or how they just paid $5.10 in Los Angeles or something.
Yes,
This
it
is
changes
the
very
national
well.
average. Good thing you people in Europe like to ride bikes everywhere. Number 5, fast food. Now, this is a strange one, I know, because fast food isn't really something you should be proud of, but I will tell you right now, every single European I know, that's one of the first things they say is our fast food is amazing. The variety
it is.
and the flavor is awesome.
Bad
You
for
have
you,
great
but good.
food in Europe. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to say that. You have a lot of really classic cuisine. You know, I mean, the Italian stuff you got going on in Italy, France, amazing. I could really do without German food, but still, you know. But Americans that go over there, they bring that up all the time. And Europeans that come over here talk about how amazing our fast food is. Again, it's unhealthy. It's probably why we're one of the largest countries in the world as far as chubby people go. But still, it tastes great. We have a wide variety. It's something that's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
Number
definitely a big
4,
American
modern
thing.
music. Jazz, blues, rock and roll, rap, hip hop. As far as modern music goes, it all started here, and anything that was done in Europe was basically a new version of something that came from the United States. Prove me wrong.
dunno.
Now, if you go way back in music, Mozart, Wagner, Chopin, Bach, those are all great. But what have they done for us lately? I mean, they haven't done much for us lately because they all died like in the early 1900s or late 1800s or even earlier than that. They haven't done much for us lately. But modern music is where the United States shines. What is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever was done by Ike Turner and Jackie Breston. They wrote a song called Rocket 88, and that is considered to be the first rock and roll song ever. If it wasn't for that, and then Elvis taking that type of music, and Buddy Holly and people like that, we wouldn't have had the Beatles or the Rolling Stones or some version of that. Again, don't get me wrong, there has been some amazing modern music that's come out of Europe, but yeah, we started it.
I feel that's personal preference, isn't it?
It depends on your genre.
Definitely, because the stuff which he's saying he doesn't like, which you could always, I'm not a music expert, but I guess you could always say it's all the influence of progression and stuff like that. Some people prefer the old stuff, I guess.
Yeah, like if you talk about, there's so many genres of music that
Exactly.
you can't say one country is better at all of them.
Definitely, there's so much history in
So
it
I'll
and
tell you
stuff
what,
like
One Direction.
that. Oh, yeah.
Best thing to come out of Europe, thank
There
you.
we go. What a mistake.
Adele.
Adele, a little bit of Adele. But again, with the history thing, let us know in the comments on it. I mean, that's a little bit of a stretch. You know what I mean? I don't think you can compare it, can you?
No.
Number 3, the landscapes. Now, this one's going to be up for an opinion because Europe does have the Alps, amazing rivers like the Rhine, Lake Como, and other amazing lakes, the Azores, Tuscany, the Greek Isles. Those are all great, but it doesn't compare to the sheer volume that we have here in the United States
There's a lot
with
in the
places
US.
like
Yeah.
Yosemite, Arches, the Great Smoky Mountains, the Rocky Mountains, the Great Lakes, the Everglades, Death Valley, the giant sequoias, the Redwoods, Yellowstone National Park, the Badlands, the Grand Canyon, the entire state of Oregon outside of Portland. That list can go on about amazing landscapes to see here in the United States. Europe does have some good ones, but just in sheer volume and numbers and things to see, we're a bigger country and we have amazing landscapes.
Yeah.
So we get the
That is
win,
true.
in my opinion, on that one. Now, to be fair,
with the
if we
Evian
start
Wall.
looking at amazing buildings, ancient buildings and stuff, Europeans got us killed there. But, you know, I mean, the Colosseum, Eiffel Tower, Big Ben, so many other ones. We have nothing that compares to that, but our land and our natural beauty is, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion,
I know you
so
laugh at it, but it's the history of it, isn't it?
It is
It
fun.
has the
Big
idea
Ben.
of it. I know.
much better. Taxes. Everyone in the United States
Okay.
always seems to think they have the highest taxes. Not even close. The United States is ranked 44th. If you take what the United Nations considers a country and you rank them by how much they tax their citizens, this is how they're ranked. The Ivory Coast, for some reason, they're just taxing the hell out of everyone.
Oh,
But it's
wow.
followed by Finland,
Wow, I didn't know
Japan,
that.
Austria, Denmark, Sweden, Belgium, Israel, Slovenia, Netherlands, Portugal, Ireland, Spain, Iceland, China gets in there, Germany, United Kingdom, France, South Africa, South Korea, Australia. Then we go back to Luxembourg, Greece, Italy, Turkey, which is not really in Europe, but you get the idea. And then after that, it goes down a while and you start seeing things like Switzerland, Monaco, Norway. And finally, way down there at number 44, you get to the United States. Here in the United States, we complain about our taxes an awful lot, especially how they're slanted towards the rich. Really don't pay that much taxes. And if you're middle class or below, you're getting gouged. That's how we see it. But if you rank them on a global scale, the United States isn't doing that bad. But that top 20 is filled with a lot of Europe.
Good for tax.
Yeah, Jersey's meant to be good for tax, isn't it?
To tax haven. Well, it was once.
I was going to say it's not a tax haven anymore, but it's still.
But there is a cap at how much they can tax you.
It's better than the UK.
It's like probably about half of what the UK's highest is.
I'm not 100% sure, but it definitely is better than the UK.
European countries. All right, before we get to number 1, don't forget we have another channel called On This Day. We'd love it if you went over there and subscribed. There's a link down below. All right, on to number 1. And number 1, shopping. Yes, I'm sure a lot of you were a little shocked, but shopping is one of the biggest...
You did do a lot of shopping, didn't you?
I had a great time in New York.
You did.
Complaints Americans that move to Europe have about Europe, and Europeans that come to the United States, they love how easy it is to shop. Now, it's not just ease or whatever, it's convenience and actually customer service. Customer service really doesn't seem to be much of a thing in Europe, according to most people that have moved over there or visited. What we would consider rude here in the United States really is kind of normal in Europe when it comes to someone working at a retail place or a grocery store, something like that. They don't really see it as rude, it's just very transactional to them and matter of fact. All right, that's today's video.
I feel like when we're in New York...
Depends on the place as well.
Definitely. I think when we're in New York, there was a lot of constantly, can I help you with that?
Yeah, well, that is polite. Sometimes it does get a bit full on.
It does, but I think if you're American, you're like
used to it. But like when we went to Woodbury Common, obviously that's mainly for tourists. I feel like they were a bit more held back. Like they were still polite and helpful.
Yeah.
But not as much as say when we went to Century 21.
Yeah, let us in the comments what you think about it as well. It'll be interesting, won't it?
Although I find it awkward when people come and talk to me, so.
Okay, if you've made it this far, here's the thing. Europe is a great continent. The countries there are amazing, but for some reason they seem to think that there's nothing wrong with all of Europe and just the United States has problems. And that's going by the emails and the comments that I get on a regular basis. Now, some of you might be saying, well, why didn't you break it down by country? Well, is that fair? Look how big the United States is compared to, let's say, Germany or Switzerland or Austria. That's not fair. Each one of the countries are a little bit different, but all these kind of fit with what's going on there according to various studies and surveys of people from Europe that have moved to the United States and Americans that have moved to Europe. So it's, other than the stats, it's pretty much based on people's opinions. Is it perfect science? No. Is it entertaining? Yes. Besides giving you some information, that's one of the main things we want to do here is entertain you. That's why I say the most entertaining part of this video will be reading the comment section and how these people from Europe will lose it in the comment section. Watch.
Well, let us know in the comments below. It'd be interesting. Again, we didn't agree with all of them, did we?
I think, again...
It's personal preference.
Like he said about all Europeans thinking that Europe has got no problems, apart from, like, only the US does.
Yeah.
That just depends on the person.
I actually think the majority of people, or at least I'd hope to think, understands that 99% of places in the world have
problems.
Good and bad things. You know what I mean? It's split.
I think
some places have more bad than good, some places have more good, but it's still split.
I feel like, I know he said it's not serious, but you can't take a few comments from people for the whole of Europe as a... Because they're probably just small-minded people.
But
trust me, we know that has
kind of the same as like you see 100 good comments and you get like 3 hate comments.
You take them.
Way more than the good comments, if that makes sense. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Smash that like button, would really appreciate it. Smash that subscribe button as well. You're absolute legends. And what's your view?
Well, we're going to go back to our perfect country and have a fantastic day.
Peace.